You shouldn't have come here. Now you see for yourself what you are doing. And you will be the first to benefit. They injected her with the virus. She screamed. A sound swallowed by the factory silence. Chisa's village, a collection of mud brick homes and thatched roofs that lay beside the sprawling ancient forest, like a child clinging to its mother's skirts. The forest, a realm of dappled sunlight and whispering leaves, held a potent mix of allure and dread. For Chisa, it was a playground, a sanctuary, a place where her boundless curiosity could roam free. She knew its secrets, the hidden waterfalls, the ancient trees with faces carved by time, the shy monkeys that peeked through the branches. One sweltering afternoon, as the sun hit down on the earth, Chisa saw something that piqued her interest. Mr Okafor, a man from the neighboring village of Idu, a quite almost spectral figure, slipped into the forest. He wasn't on the usual paths, the one leading to the stream where women wash clothes. He was heading towards the abandoned factory, a relic of a bygone era. Its corrugated iron roofs, rusted and peeling. The windows, like vacant eyes staring into the forest depths. The factory, a place whispered about in hushed tones. There had been tales and rumors that the said factory was abandoned because of the fearful event that had happened in the past. It was said to be haunted by the spirit of those who had worked and died there. Chisa's curiosity was a constant companion that always whispered in her ear. She had to know why Mr Okafor was going there. She followed him, her bare foot making no sound on the soft earth. She moved like a shadow, slipping between trees, her eyes fixed on the retreating figure. As she moved, he kept looking back to see if anyone was trailing him. Mr Okafor reached the back of the factory and disappeared through a small, almost hidden door. A door Chisa had never noticed before. She waited. While she was waiting, her heart was pounding. Then, cautiously, she approached the door. The air around the factory felt heavy, charged with an unseen energy. She peered through a cracked window, her breath catching in her throat. Inside the factory, a scene unfolded that made her blood run cold. Men, their faces grim and focused, worked with a strange equipment. Glowing screens, intricate tubes, and veils filled with shimmering liquids. The air hummed with a low mechanical drone. She saw Mr Okafor among them. His usually placid face now etched with intensity. They were working on something very dangerous. She saw a vial labeled with a skull and crossbones, the universal symbol of poison. A bioweapon, a virus, a disease designed to kill. Chisa, despite her young age, understood the gravity of what she was witnessing. Suddenly, Mr Okafor turned, his eyes looking into hers. "Chisa!" he exclaimed, his voice sharp and cold. He lunged towards her, his grip surprisingly strong. He grabbed her inside, his eyes filled with a chilling determination. "You shouldn't have come here," he said, his voice low and menacing. "Now, you see for yourself what we are doing, and you will be the first to benefit." They tied her to a rusted metal post, her eyes wide with terror. The men argued among themselves. One, a man with a kind face and worried eyes, pleaded for her release. "She's just but a child," he said. "We can't do this to her." But the others were adamant. "She has seen too much," one said, his voice hard. "She will tell everyone. We can't risk it. Think about it. For this girl to follow him down here, it means she can also bring the whole authorities and the villages to this place too." They decided to use her as a test subject, a living incubator for their deadly creation. After a long heated argument, they finally came to a conclusion. They injected her with the virus, the liquid burning like fire in her veins. She screamed, a sound swallowed by the factory silence. For days she was kept in the dark cold room, her body wrecked with fever and pain. The virus raged within her, transforming her into a vessel of its deadly potential. She drifted in and out of the consequences, her mind filled with the nightmarish visions. She couldn't speak anymore. She had lost her voice and partial memory. Then, one day, they took her back, dumping her near a village, like a broken toy. Her parents, frantic with worry, found her. Their tears of relief mixed with confusion. She was weak, her eyes dull, her body burning. She couldn't speak, her throat raw and swollen. Unbeknownst to everyone, she was a walking plague, a carrier of a deadly virus. Her mother, a vibrant trader, took her to the market, the very heart of the community. As people came by and touched her, knowing she has been missing for days, the virus began to spread like wildfire, carried on the air, on touched surfaces, on shared breaths. People began to fall sick, their bodies ravaged by fever, coughing, and weakness. Fear gripped the community. The market, once a place of bustling life, became a scene of silent suffering. People began to die, their bodies left gaunt and disfigured. Chisa, after days of feverish delirium, began to recover, thanks to some traditional herbs her grandmother had given to her. Her voice, though weak, returned. She told her parents, and then the village elders, everything she had seen, from the factory, the men, the virus. She described Mr. Okafor, his face clear in her memory. The village, driven by grief and fear, stormed the neighboring community of Idu. They found the factory empty, stripped of its equipment, but the lingering scent of chemicals, the discarded valves, and the traces of the virus were undeniable. The villagers were filled with rage and sorrow. Mr. Okafor was arrested. He denied everything. He claimed he had never been near the factory. The authorities investigated, but the case was weak. Chika's testimony, the ways of a sick girl, was dismissed by some as fevered ramblings. The empty lab, though suspicious, had no concrete proof of Mr. Okafor's involvement. The truth like the virus, was elusive, a shadow lurking in the corners of their lives. The villagers were left to their grief, their fear, and the haunting knowledge that the world they had once knew have been irrevocably changed. The epidemic left scars, both physical and emotional, a stark reminder of the darkness that lurked within the shadows and the fragility of life. The virus did not kill everyone. Some people were left with disfigurement and lifelong illnesses. Children who survived grew up with weakened lungs and scarred skin. The market, once a place of vibrant trade, was now a place of hushed whispers and wary glances. The case of Mr. Okafor was never concluded, a shadow of doubt and injustice hanging over the community, a constant reminder of the day Chika followed her curiosity into the heart of darkness. The people of both communities were forever changed. Trust between the two villages was broken, and the once shared marketplace was now a place of tension. The whispers of the factory, the men inside, became part of the local folklore, a cautionary tale told to children to warn them of the dangers that lurked in the shadows and the importance of leaving some mysteries alone.